We work together, and that's how we've done it in Ohio, and that's how we'll continue to do it in Ohio. We did it through partnerships. I also would like to just do a quick shout out to Kids Ohio and the Ohio Grantmakers Forum and the Battelle Institute, who were instrumental in helping us with the application process and with convening individuals for discussion and so forth. So thank you all so much for the work you did from our State Board of Education, which has already been mentioned, to everyone at the department. It was a large effort, and we did it with partnership. So one of our partners, Jean Harris, will speak next.
Thank you. So for the first time in my life, I'll be very brief. But one of the things that I will say is this is really an important day in the life of Ohio. Our governor has talked so much about the need for there to be a strong educational system to make sure that our economy is strong also. So while this is about 1.8 million school children, 53,000 of whom personally belong to me, and we are very excited about that, we know that in the short term and the long term, this is a great day for the state of Ohio. So I want to thank the governor and Deb and all of those who allowed me to represent the administrators, the other educators, the superintendents all across this nation in bringing back this great, great opportunity for our kids, for the teachers, for the principals, for the parents, and certainly for our economy. Thank you. And now, it is my pleasure, really, if the governor and Deb don't mind, to introduce the star of the show, and that's Melissa Crocker. She's a teacher on our team who was absolutely awesome in her presentation. Melissa.
With this team, with so many people who have worked so hard for many, many months to put this plan together. I like to say, wow. I mean, tomorrow is the first day that we'll have students walk into our school building, and I can't think of a better way to start the year than with this kind of exciting news. It's just incredible. And I talked to one of our teachers last night, and I told her, you know, we're going to be making this announcement today, and she said, Melissa, we here at Georgetown are so excited. We're so proud that our school is a part of this, and we're ready to step in and do whatever we need to do to make this happen in our school. So on behalf of teachers, you know, we're very happy that that this plan is going to help bring even more tools to us, more data to us, to help us be able to do our jobs even more effectively than we have been doing. So that's very exciting. But I'm also extremely, extremely excited that this is going to enable us to be able to continue our work with the Appalachian Collaborative, so that we can continue to work together to set an example across the nation of how rural schools can work together to bring even better education to our students. So I'm very happy for this opportunity. I'm very excited that Ohio has gotten money. Thank you.
Thank you. So if any of you have questions of me or any of the other team members, we will be happy to try to respond. Yes?
Governor, explain what this $400 million is going to be spent on a little bit more, and what schools is it going to be in?
I'm going to ask some of my team members to come up and talk specifically about the number of schools. We have both public schools and charter schools involved in this effort, and the money will be allocated for very specific reasons that are outlined in our plan.
Thank you, Governor. There are around 535 local education agencies, which includes both school districts and charter schools called community schools in Ohio that have signed up. As I mentioned, we made a strong emphasis on partnerships, so we required every participating LEA to have their union signature, their board president's signature, and their superintendent's signature. So we know that they are all ready to work in partnership to make this happen. And so it will across most of the schools in Ohio, many of the schools in Ohio, and it will focus a lot on bringing tools and resources to teachers so that they can help students achieve more successfully.
Can you give us an example of something that a teacher will have because of this that they didn't have before?
There are so many things. What to pick out, for example, data reports. We will be generating reports on value-added growth for each student and providing those to teachers. We will be providing training on how to use those data tools. We'll be creating an instructional improvement system that will have both data about the individual students as well as curriculum models, lesson plans, assessments, all tools that teachers can use as they work with students to track their achievement. There are many, many other things, new programs for beginning teachers, implementing the residency program. That's in House Bill 1, which will provide intensive supports to new beginning teachers. Working with higher education to strengthen the teacher education programs so that our new graduates are ready to go the day they step into the classroom. Just a lot of things. I don't know if there are others that...
Yeah, I just want to add one. I was glad that Marilyn mentioned working with higher education. She mentioned partnerships, and I'm so grateful that you're here, Eric, because we are working closely with the Board of Regents, and Eric has made a real commitment to helping us to strengthen the teaching and principal professions by clarifying and strengthening those programs at the universities. And also at the local level, school districts will be required to develop partnerships with higher education so that professional development is a shared responsibility, not just of the local district, but also from the university as well, and they'll be collaborating on that. So we have 15 very specific initiatives that are included in Race to the Top, and those 15 initiatives each have several components to them addressing the areas that Marilyn mentioned, as well as areas such as the closing the achievement gap.
Have you been told what the difference was this time around, why you were successful in round 2 and not round 1?
We all took vitamins before the presentation.
I will have Deb or Marilyn talk about some of the modifications that we made with round 2. And I'm very pleased to find out that we actually increased our score as a result of our presentation. And I think that speaks to the kind of preparation assistance we receive from these folks, the hours of practice, and the fact that we took this responsibility very, very seriously. And so, Deb or Marilyn, do you have more to say?
Yeah, one of the things that was clear to us in round 1 was that the 15 strategies or initiatives we had proposed were not called into question. What was called into question was the lack of details and clarification that we had included in round 1 proposal. So with the help of the partnerships that Marilyn mentioned with the more than 100 individuals, we really analyzed all the reviewers' comments that were provided to us, as well as what Battelle Institute had received in Kids Ohio and Ohio Grantmakers Forum through the interview and focus groups. And we took all of those and went back to the initial round 1 application, and we added over 100 pages of details, so details they got. And we felt when we walked into the interview that for the most part those were very clear, because the questions that we were asked that were posed to us, it was stated right up front that they were clarifying questions. So again, it didn't get called into question. So for example, Melissa mentioned the Appalachian Collaborative. That was actually included in round 1, but we didn't call it out as a separate initiative. So we called it out, we spelled it out for what it was. We had more time this time during round 2 to really work with those partnerships. During the first round, it was very busy gathering all the information, and we didn't have a base of working protocol, if you will, to really develop. And this time we at least had something to respond to. So I think there was a lot of the clarifying details.
I have a question, actually, if I could, for Dr. Harris.
Does that mean I have to step up?
Yes. I just want to take a look locally at what this means for some area districts. Can you talk about what, I know school starts tomorrow, what could look different or what could feel different this academic year because of this grant?
Well, there'll be nothing immediate that happens, but there's some great long-term planning that's going on, and we've started some of that even locally. One of the things that I'll call out is the great leadership